Alright, so I've been contemplating making this video for a while. Let's do this. So, before anybody thinks this is some form of going away letter, I've given up on YouTube, or I've been dead in the pool of water that is my own mind due to depression, anxiety, lack of sleep, or all of the above. I'm all good. I'm fine. Somewhat. To a degree, I think.
By the way, I want to let y'all know right now, this audio is recorded at fucking 2 a.m. in the morning, baby. Let's go.
I just want to say thank you all so much for being here and watching my videos, liking them, subscribing to the channel, and supporting me as a YouTube content creator for the 3-ish years I've been performing for y'all on this platform, I think. I've met a lot of people ranging from friends and family to YouTubers and streamers alike here. This channel is probably the best thing that has ever happened to me. And to think that, as of time of recording, 111 people could be brought together through the countless hours of recording, editing, like holy celestial crab legs. Man, there's enough of you to the point that all of us can't fit in a transit bus, but just barely enough to fit in a parliament debate chambers. Like, holy shit.
Bruh, the freaking Council of Moonmen.
And I'm glad that I found and fostered such a large community that can proudly call my cadets, you know? That's not to say that I haven't been the most consistent with my upload schedule, though, which is why I'm sort of making this video, because I sort of feel like that my content has been sprawled out during the course of 2022, and I'm hoping to change that to some capacity. Though that hasn't been really doing much of a case throughout January and half of February, but no promises. Some videos here on the channel are like months apart, and some are literally a single day apart, and it's very inconsistent. The real reason as to why my uploads have been a big mix of time gaps and has been less than stellar in terms of quality is because, one, I'm currently going through some stuff, and two, that stuff turns out to be college and a job and many relationship changes throughout the course of 4 months, which is crazy because a lot of shit happened in the span of 4 months when a lot more shit has happened in the span of 3 years since the beer virus has taken over, you know, but regardless, I'm also in a sort of stage of burnout, and we're gonna start with number 2, which is the burnout stuff. See, the original message of this channel was to display the wacky misadventures of Moonman and friends as we play various video games here on the channel and just have fun with said games, you know, just chill out, relax, have a good old time, blast some dudes in Call of Duty, or drive some cars off a cliff, you know, just the usual shenanigans. But, I sort of feel like that has been lost through various circumstances, that time and space just wishes to rip from me, regardless of what I do to salvage or repair it. You know,
Welcome to my existential nightmare.
it could be anybody else's existential nightmare too, but regardless. Of course, I'm going through college, a job, a personal life, and constant one of improvement, but there's not a whole lot I can do in terms of time, and time is something that's constantly fleeting whether or not we like it, and I have a lot of time compared to, you know, a lot of people who have to constantly work in, you know, said workforce, which I'm a part of, thank God, you know. I have a steady flow of income for buying myself some snacks and video games to play for y'all here on the channel, but in the great words of Markiplier, we all know that time is the most valuable thing that anybody can have, give, or spend, even if we waste a lot more than what we're supposed to. So eventually this channel is going to grow even bigger than what it stands as today, and even though I might lose some subs along the way, current number count here, I'm both excited for that and somewhat anxious, because higher numbers is cool and everything, but my community engagement is going to go further down the higher it gets. That in itself is just something I have to deal with while running a channel and being a face on social media, I suppose. But not to say that I'll ever be leaving for any of these reasons. Of course, that's just not something I'm gonna do in 1,000 years. It's just that I guess I was putting such a large workload on myself that it starts to slowly dwindle the want to progress the channel in a never-ending grind of honor and glory, you know? Hell, I sort of gave up on fixing my acne at one point because I thought it was pointless when I could be doing so much more with that 2 minutes of time that I could have done to wash my face in the morning and in the night. But now I do that, so I look pretty. But now I realize that I should probably work on doing things slightly faster or taking my time with whatever I actually need to do and not sacrifice so much of it into just one thing itself. So multitasking, if I can, is something I plan on learning or leaning into more in the future. Yay. I also think that one thing people don't realize or really know about making content on YouTube is, here comes the list. 1, the struggle of making content to the point of it becoming first nature to talk about. So like making a video on any subject matter that correlates to your channel and therefore becomes your priority in your life, which also ruins both your life and the relationships you hold within it, which is something you have to sort of juggle when it comes to this sort of lifestyle or hobby, I guess. It's more of a hobby for me. Something fun to do. Number 2, constantly trying to one-up yourself in every video becomes ever so slightly harder and will ruin the fun of making videos if you constantly push to make better and better stuff that probably shouldn't be improved upon regardless. Like how I stick to editing for 6 hours a week before posting it, which is god awful. Don't try doing that ever. Number 3, upload schedule consistency is very hard to do in the span of weekly entries. It is very commendable to do so, but not rewarding in any way to the creator. The reason why weekly or even daily uploads is so sought after is because if you're not uploading massive amounts of contents daily to YouTube's algorithm, the algorithm thinks you're bottom of the barrel scum, thus making it all more of a grind, and then all more of a grind than anything from the heart, which we don't see too much on YouTube these days, unless you're following real people. Number 4, people generally think once you've hit a certain sub or view count and you talk about it because you're proud of the achievement you reach, which I feel like that should be for anything. If you reach like an achievement or like high marks on something, I feel like you should be able to brag about it. Or not really brag about it, but like talk about it. Like, hey man, I got this much subscribers. I'm above 100. That's pretty cool. 100 people follow me. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you get high marks on anything, I'm pretty sure you should be able to talk about it. But I guess people either see you differently because of your popularity, right? And because you're somewhat boasting about yourself, they think the power has gone to your head. And I don't really see that too much for me. I mean, I think I've definitely changed over the past, like, 3 years. But, I think that for me is, like, totally untrue, because I'm the same fun-loving goofball with a terrible attention span, which also applies to the fact that I tend to seem like I'm ignoring people at times, but I'm just a big dummy. I'm just stupid. Yeah, it's really tough if you don't have a team behind you on this platform, and you're not exactly balanced in terms of work ethic and personal time. It's a massive struggle. Like, it's a really big struggle if you don't play your cards right here on the oh so lovely YouTube algorithm. But another thing is that I feel like I won't always be posting a video weekly. Another thing is that I feel like I won't always be posting a video weekly. That's just a thing that people do, you know? Consistency is inconsistent, and inconsistency will forever be consistent in terms of humankind and being creatures that have a tendency to make mistakes and completely forget some things at times, and say that 5 times fast. You know, sometimes we ball and sometimes we game, but we all know that life is a hella big ball game, and somebody's gonna slip up at some point, so hope that it's not wrong place, wrong time, every time. Anyway, I have a few more reasons as to why, you know, besides the other point that I made. You see, originally, I feel like we already discussed this topic, but originally my channel was made for my friends and I to play video games, just have fun. Didn't matter what game it was, what we were doing, or where we did it. We were just doing what we wanted, where we wanted, had fun doing it. We were laughing our asses off the entire time. Just doing random shit for shits and giggles, you know? It was fucking good times, man. So I made this channel as a way to sort of capture that essence so I can always look back fondly upon moments in history or, you know, my history with my friends. Technically our collective history. But, yeah, there was definitely instances where that has been the case, and others, not so much. But that's alright, it doesn't have to be that way, though. Like, videos can be a hit and miss, and I understand that. However, I feel like the channel itself has grown in a way alongside the personality that I use into the video as part of the corresponding elements to what makes the video a video. You know? My kind of video. But we won't be dumping the original message of this channel to the side either, because there's so much potential and things that I could be doing with this channel. I could possibly jumpstart my career as one of the big league YouTubers. You know, millions of subs, hundreds of views per day, or thousands of views, I suppose. Hundreds of thousands of views. But I think I'll do it all one step at a time, where I see fit, and to just have fun with it. I don't know why I can't talk. To be honest, I didn't expect anybody to know that there was a message with my channel, but they can still find if my audience doesn't know regardless, because I never really brought it up to begin with. But at the same time, it's like a guideline in a way that I make my channel, just sort of have fun with it. I do see that my channel has kept its original sentiment, or from my perspective anyway, and is continuing to grow and flourish by my own standards, and by others as well. So I'll definitely try to find my way around that. There's no doubt about that. Improvement. I want to improve. Everybody wants to improve, so, you know. Usually I don't tell people much about what's going on in my head, usually because people don't care to listen and carry on with their life, and that's kind of hard to both realize and interpret in a way that's really cognitive to my friends and family, so I wade in a pool of my own internalized fear and suffering until the day I die. But I feel like that's something that I can learn to grow out of as a person, and something that people can take away from this video. I mean, as like the small little side lesson compared to the whole spiel I said about YouTube earlier, but you know, it's rough sometimes. It's rough. Personal growth, people. Personal growth. I gotta do it. Your friends gotta do it. My dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, my grandpa, my grandmas, my nieces, my nephews, everybody ever has got to do it. So why not join me on a ride? We can all get through this together. Might be a hard ask, because change is scary, but we won't really know of the consequences until we make the conversion. So let's just sit back, relax, and we'll go with the flow, cadets. Well, speaking of cadets, I don't exactly refer to my chat much. I feel like I'm just doing my thing and everybody's along for the ride. But I assure you, I think about the people when I make my vids. I think about it a lot. So much so that I can be a little detrimental at times. Like, it could be very detrimental. Like, I'll make an entire video from a recording session, and I'll watch it myself the next day to see if it's something that I'll enjoy watching. if I don't really get much from it other than just blankly staring at a screen for 30 minutes and just feeling a void in what could have been, and that I've wasted my time both making, editing, and watching that video, I'll just straight up delete the video, and that's the end of that. As I believe that if I record, edit, and watch a video, if I don't think it's that great afterwards, it's probably not that great for everyone to watch. Which, can be detrimental if I feel like my editing has gone on for too long. Again, 6 hours, what the fuck was I doing? That's not always the case, though. Sometimes I just make a video and post it, then I see how far it goes, and I move on to the next one. Which is, like, me blatantly not caring about said video, and, really when it comes to that type of video, usually that's the type of video that I either poured too much, like, time into, or I simply just wanted it out of my hard drive, pretty much. And that in itself can be a little detrimental too, because, like, I'm probably not going to like that video at all. And it's whatever, honestly. I think I got the reason why I don't exactly refer to my audience much, and it's because PTSD from some of my live streams. If you've ever been to those live streams, hats off to you, you're one of the boys. Particularly for my most recent live stream of Rec Room. I noticed that the people who came into my chat try to get into my games, right? And were solely there to grab my attention. Not that one Chad that taught me how to drive cars, but it felt like I was just some sort of plaything for them to mess with, I got spammed a lot during that stream. Both message requests, my own chat was going wild because people wanted to friend me for whatever reason, and they just jumped in my stream, and whatever's whatever. I'm assuming because of a few outward understandings that I had no idea about at the time. And they tried to follow me to every lobby I was in, as well. I'm gonna be plain and simple to you right now. It was a nightmare to handle. I was not ready for that at all. So that's sort of why I like to stick to a video format and not a live stream one. I wouldn't say people ruined it for me in terms of my audience, but I just wasn't ready for that type of business, like, at all. But I also realized that in this profession, or hobby, whatever you want to call it, I personally like to call it a profession sometimes, because it's like, cool, I'm a YouTuber. People think of it as a profession now, and I'm like, oh yeah. But it's, for me, still, again, a hobby. Then I'm gonna have encounters like that a lot, and it's gonna happen more frequently as I grow. I'm not going to be prepared for it most of the time, so I'm gonna have to perform under pressure. I'm gonna make sure that my community is a safe space for everyone involved. Because I don't know if this is true or not, but that live stream, or what I myself think, was overran by a younger audience, which isn't exactly what I had in mind. I'm sort of like a teenager demographic. But since the game was free to play, and many kids usually spend a lot of time in games like that, I don't know how I didn't see that one coming. But, yeah. Regardless, though, through all of what I had just explained, I believe I have strained myself because I was so quick to try and make improvements to my entire channel as a whole. Like I was some big-time hotshot that was gonna spin the heads of many viewers, tubers, and streamers alike, that I didn't see what I was doing to myself in my channel. Usually if you want to perform well, you have to have fun while doing it, and, you're performing for an audience because, let's be honest, you're an entertainer at the end of the day as a YouTuber. But with that being said, I will be focusing less on trying to bump out videos with greater and greater quality to the point that I'm making the next Da Vinci of videos so I can slow down and enjoy what I'm doing. Don't worry though, I have ideas in the pipeline and we're just getting started on our adventures, so stay subscribed, hit the like button if you want more. We don't usually do these types of videos around here. Usually it's mostly gameplay and stuff like that. But we might get this every once in a while. Just like a little checkup, a little update video, So stick around and we'll definitely have some fun. I just have to give myself a break and do some things on my own before getting back into it. So now's the part where I shift gears, and instead of going on with the grinding type of mindset, the YouTuber grind set, you know, I'm gonna just start doing stuff because I want to do stuff. Because I'm me, you know? Because I want to grow. And growing is cool. And I want to grow without being held back by the wicked advertiser knee-bending machine that is the YouTube algorithm. And I'd say the F word right now in full blatant screaming, but I'm uncertain how that would end up because YouTube will smite me out of existence for any sort of curse word now. The guidelines are a bit iffy. But I got lumped into a group of people that were on this site that are either faster at producing videos or simply don't care enough for others and therefore makes conditions far worse for the rest of us here on YouTube. So now I'm gonna be more honest with myself and do things in my own time for this channel. Hopefully set up a schedule for vids, or maybe go back to live streaming a game if I feel like it, but maybe just solo games or private party games. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, that about wraps up what I wanted to say. Thank you all so very much for watching this video to the very end. Feel free to like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe, and comment below your thoughts on this video. I would really appreciate it if I could get your opinion. Again, it's an opinion, not a matter of fact. Twitter. I'm kidding. I'll see y'all later, cadets. Cue the outro. Damn, I need me a good ass nap after that. That shit took too long to record.